Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to be comparing the New Balance 574 with the New Balance 574 Legacy. The classic 574 is one of the most iconic New Balance shoes of all time, and I thought it would be interesting to compare it with the new 574 Legacy model that released earlier in 2022. I'll do a side-by-side comparison of both shoes, highlighting the notable similarities and differences. I'll do an on-feet comparison, as well as compare sizing, comfort, and overall quality and design of both shoes. Originally released in 1988, the New Balance 574 was created to do a variety of things while also being budget friendly. It was made to be uncomplicated, rugged, durable, and comfortable. Its versatility and unassuming looks have helped the shoe become the icon it is today. Released earlier in 2022, the 574 Legacy is a model that adds an elevated aesthetic to the classic 574. Getting into the side-by-side comparison of both models, as you can probably tell, they both look pretty similar, but it's just that the 574 Legacy is just the 574, but a bit more exaggerated and a little bit bigger overall. In terms of the overall size of both shoes, the 574 Legacy is slightly bigger than the 574, and most notably in the actual midsole. As you can see, the 574 Legacy's midsole is a lot thicker than the classic 574. And another notable thing about both shoes is that the 574 Legacy is relatively heavier than the classic 574. It's not an insanely heavy shoe by any means, like one of those big platform designer shoes out there, but it does feel slightly heavier in hand and on feet in contrast to the classic 574. The outsole traction pattern is also a lot more exaggerated and prevalent on the 574 Legacy. Another small difference between the two shoes is that the 574 Legacy has a small panel of 3M reflective material where the toe box and lace outlets meet, and whereas the 574 Classic does not. And now I'm going to show you guys how they compare on feet. In terms of sizing, the classic 574 fits true to size. I am a true size 9.5, so I get my 574s also in a size 9.5. What's also notable is that the 574 and the core classic colorways do come in wider size. In my original review for the Bodega 574 Legacy, I said that you could go true to size, but after wearing it more and comparing it with the classic 574, I can now say that the 574 Legacy is slightly bigger in terms of the overall shoe, and most notably in the toe box area, so I suggest going down half a size from your true size. If I were to get these again, I'd go down to a size 9. Moving on towards comfort, I'll flash both of my 3-factor comfort ratings for both models on the screen right now, but what's most notable in terms of comparing the two, I think the 574 Legacy is softer on feet than the classic 574, and for me personally, I prefer a softer shoe rather than a more firm shoe, so I'd personally choose the 574 Legacy over the classic 574 in terms of comfort. The classic 574 is by no means an uncomfortable shoe for me, I just prefer a softer midsole. So really it comes down to whether you prefer a softer midsole or a more firm midsole. And in terms of the overall midsole shape, despite being thicker on the 574 Legacy, I'd say they are both pretty average. They're both relatively flat and not that supportive as modern day shoes. In terms of quality, I can't give you an exact comparison of quality because both shoes I have are a collaboration and a special edition model respectively, and they didn't retail for the standard price, but what I can tell you is that the Classic 574 in the Core Classic colorways does retail for $85, and then the 574 Legacy in standard colorways, non-collabs, retails for $99.99. And the reason why I say the 574 Legacy retails for $99.99 and not $100, I want to address how the 574 Legacy in the standard colorways actually originally retailed for $110, but it actually eventually went down to $99.99. I'm not an idiot, I know that's $100, but I thought it was interesting to see that New Balance wanted to decrease the price so that the 574 Legacy still retailed for two figures. Obviously, I know it rounds up to $100. I gotta say, when I originally saw the 574 Legacy on New Balance retailing for three figures, in contrast to the Classic 574, which still retail for only around $80 to $85, it was very polarizing, and it really turned me away from the model because of how expensive it was. Again, I can't really compare the quality of the materials on the two since I have a collab and special edition, but I'd say the quality would probably be relatively the same. You aren't getting the most special suede or leathers or meshes in the world, especially in contrast to main USA models or even mid-range models like the 2002R and the 1906R. They're both supposed to be sub $100 New Balance shoes that are budget friendly. I guess you could say the 574 Legacy does use more materials because of how it's just basically the 574 but bigger, especially in terms of the midsole shape. But when it comes to price and quality, I guess it really boils down to which shoe you like more in terms of looks. When it comes down to my pick of the two, I can't really make a choice. When it comes to looks, I prefer the Classic 574. I think it's an iconic and classic shoe, and you shouldn't really change too much about it. But when it comes to comfort, I prefer the 574 Legacy because the midsole is softer. So which model do you guys prefer, the Classic 574 or the 574 Legacy? I'd definitely like to know down in the comments. So that's gonna do it for this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Follow me on my socials. Thank you to all my Patreon backers. Check out the Intelligent site for more New Balance content and guides, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.